Welcome to the Disabled Podcast, starring your host, Christian Reitz.
Hot dog! Let's go!
Welcome to the Disabled Podcast, the show that incorporates disabilities with the magic of Disney. Welcome to episode number 5, entitled The Disney Theme Parks, Part 2, Disney's Hollywood Studios. Be sure to use our hashtag the Disabled Podcast, when sharing this podcast to all social media platforms. Again, that's hashtag the Disabled Podcast when sharing this podcast to all social media platforms. And now, here's your host, Christian Reitz. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Disabled Podcast. This week, we're going to continue our series on the Disney theme parks and talk about one of my very favorite theme parks, and that is Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, before we dive in, I do want to mention that a lot of these things I'm going to mention, as far as the rides go, are rides that you must transfer out of your wheelchair or your ECV in order to experience them. Now, there are, however, a few rides in Hollywood Studios that do allow for you to put your wheelchair onto the ride vehicle, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, the latest in Disney theme park news. The 50th anniversary is happening now for the next 18 months all across the Walt Disney World Resort, including Disney Springs, the Disney theme parks, and the Disney resorts. So be sure to get your tickets now so that you can experience all that the 50th anniversary has to offer. Okay, so let's dive right in and let's talk about the next theme park in our Disney theme park series. So last week we talked about Magic Kingdom and all the things you can do even if you're in a wheelchair. This week we're going to get into Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is now formerly MGM Studios, officially made its debut in May of 1989 and was the third park to open in the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, this theme park consists of 8 different themed areas and lands with things to do for the entire family. So let's go ahead and talk about Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay, so now once you scan your Magic Band at the front entrance of Disney's Hollywood Studios, you're going to find yourself in the middle of our first land, which is Hollywood Boulevard. Now, on Hollywood Boulevard, there's only one major attraction, and that is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and that's located at the Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, so you'll go to your left, and you'll go down Hollywood Boulevard and see the giant Chinese Theater, which actually used to be home of the Great Movie Ride for you Disney fans, if you remember that. Now, this attraction is the first ever attraction to feature everybody's favorite duo, Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Now, on this ride, you will be immersed into a new Mickey Mouse short film entitled Perfect Picnic. Now, this specific attraction is a train ride through the world of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, so for you wheelchairs, you will need to transfer from your wheelchair or your ECV in order to experience this attraction. But I can totally promise you that it's worth it because I've done it and it's amazing. Now, once you've gotten off of this ride, you'll end up back on Hollywood Boulevard, where you will find a few shops and quick dining places like the Mickey's of Hollywood, Keystone Clothiers, the Hollywood Brown Derby Restaurant and Lounge, and so much more. So if we keep walking down in our next land in Hollywood Studios, it's actually Echo Lake. Now in Echo Lake, there's so much to experience, like Star Wars or Star Tours. Our next area in Hollywood Studios is Echo Lake. Now, in Echo Lake, there is so much to experience like Star Tours The Adventure Continues, which is basically a 3D motion simulator featuring a lot of your favorite Star Wars characters like C-3PO and R2-D2 and even Darth Vader. Now, if you're looking for the best live entertainment in Echo Lake, then I highly recommend Vacation Fun, which is a theater that currently shows animated short films starring Mickey and Minnie. And there's even an Indiana Jones themed stunt show called Indiana Jones, An Epic Stunt Spectacular. Now, for you fans of the Frozen movies, there's a special interactive sing-along celebration entitled, For the First Time in Forever, a Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, and it's located actually in that same area. This interactive show features all of the beloved songs from the movie Frozen, and even has appearances throughout the show from Anna, Kristoff, and Elsa themselves. So if you or your children are fans of the movie Frozen, then that is a show that I 100% definitely recommend. Now, if you're looking to grab a bite to eat, then you can go to such places as Epic Eats, Oasis Canteen, and the Backlot Express, just to name a few. Also, if you are a pin trader or are looking for the best frozen gifts, then you can either go to Tatooine Traders or Frozen Fractal Gifts. Now, if we head on over to the left just a little bit, we will end up in Commissary Lane. Now, Commissary Lane only has 2 dining areas to choose from, and they are the ABC Commissary, which is one of my family's personal favorites that we eat at every time we take a trip to Hollywood Studios, and the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater Restaurant, which is basically like the old drive-in theaters from back in the day. Our next land in Hollywood Studios is Grand Avenue. Now, currently Grand Avenue is only home to one specific attraction, and that is Muppet Vision 3D. Now, this 3D show incorporates a 3D movie, some special effects, and even some audio animatronics. This 3D attraction is about 25 minutes in length and features Muppets like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Now, for the best dining options in Grand Avenue, there are 3 to choose from, and they are Pizza Rizzo, which is basically a pizza place, Mama Melrose's, and Baseline Tap House, which is basically like a sports bar type of place. And now for you Star Wars fans, I know you're listening, so thank you for listening. Let's travel to our next themed land, and that is a land that is very popular in Hollywood Studios, and it's very popular to Star Wars fans, and that is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has only 2 very interactive and I should say incredible rides in this area, and they are Rise of the Resistance and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Now, for both of these rides, there is a height requirement, so if you're in a wheelchair or ECV as well, you will need to transfer, just to let you know, to get onto the ride. But now let me briefly tell you about each ride in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Rise of the Resistance, and the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Now, Rise of the Resistance is one of the most popular rides in Galaxy's Edge. In this ride, you basically are pushed into the middle of a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. Now, it used to be back in the day, or back whenever it first started, that you would have to get a boarding group for this ride. And you would have to use My Disney Experience, get up super early, and just go from there. And usually, some people wouldn't even get in. But now, Disney has officially announced that they are now running standby for this ride. Okay, so I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to drive the Millennium Falcon? Well, now you can on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This interactive experience gives you and your group the chance to operate the Millennium Falcon. Now, if you are looking for the best dining in Galaxy's Edge, then you can find such places as Ronto Roasters, Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, and more. For shopping and souvenirs, you can check out the Market Merchants, Resistance Supply, First Order Cargo, and other shops, just to name a few. You can also do 2 very unique experiences when it comes to interactive things to do in this land, such as Savvy's Workshop, where you can actually build your own lightsaber, and the Droid Depot, which I personally have done before, and it is amazing. Now, both Savvy's Workshop and the Droid Depot do require reservations online at the Disney website ahead of time. Our next land is based on the Disney Pixar movie franchise, Toy Story, and it's actually called Toy Story Land. Now, in Toy Story Land, everything around you makes you feel like you shrunk down to the size of a toy in Andy's backyard. Now, in Toy Story Land, you can find attractions such as Alien Swirling Saucers, Slinky Dog Dash Roller Coaster, and Toy Story Mania. Now, Alien Swirling Saucers and Slinky Dog Dash do require you to transfer in a wheelchair, from a wheelchair onto the ride vehicle. But Toy Story Mania is an accessible attraction that you can load up your wheelchair onto the vehicle and experience the attraction. And now also I should mention that Toy Story Mania is a 3D attraction, so you definitely do not want to forget your 3D glasses when you want to experience this interactive attraction. Now, after having all the fun in Toy Story Land, you might get a little hungry. So you'll want to check out Woody's Lunchbox, located across from Slinky Dog Dash, where you will find some awesome food options like a grilled cheese sandwich and so much more. Now, for the best souvenir shopping and pin trading, you will want to find all that stuff at the Toy Story Mania shop. So if you're looking for anything Toy Story, that is definitely the way to go. Okay, so now let's go to our next theme land in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and that is the Animation Courtyard. Now, in the Animation Courtyard, you can experience such attractions as Walt Disney Presents, which is an art gallery that shows future projects for the Walt Disney Company and the Disney theme parks, as well as showing you the history about the life of Walt Disney himself. And you can even watch a tribute to Walt Disney in Walt Disney One Man Stream, and that's basically like a theater show. So you'll just watch a movie. Now, if you have a little one who is in love with Disney Junior, and I know there's little ones listening, so little ones, if you're a fan of Disney Junior and parents as well, then you'll definitely want to check out Disney Junior Play and Dance, which is an interactive stage show featuring Mickey and Minnie, Sophia the First, Doc McStuffins, and more. Now, if you're looking for a quick bite to eat in the animation courtyard, then one of my favorite recommendations that I had on my last trip is actually Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. It is the best. It's actually what they do with Joffrey's is they actually give you donuts, and you can do like M&Ms on top, or I think Kit Kats is one of them, I believe. I had to go back and look, but it's one of the best. You can get it there. It's one of the best things in the world. I'll just say that. Now, our final land is Sunset Boulevard. Now, in Sunset Boulevard, you will find attractions such as Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith, and basically this is a roller coaster where you do have to transfer. So and I think it does actually have a height requirement as well. But basically, it'll blast Aerosmith songs. It's actually a really cool ride, from what I can tell. And another fan favorite, which is the Tower of Terror. Now, for live entertainment, you can experience shows like the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, where you can learn what it takes to become a champion from Lightning McQueen himself. And in fact, another one of my personal favorite shows that's around that area is Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Now, this stage show is a theatrical retelling of the original animated movie, and it's about 25 minutes in length, and I promise you, it is amazing. So you'll want to check that out. Now, dining options in the Sunset Boulevard includes places like the Sunshine Ranch Market, where you can find other quick service restaurants, the KRNR The Rock Station, and of course, Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Now, if you want to look for the perfect souvenir, then you can go to places on Sunset Boulevard like Once Upon a Time, The Legends of Hollywood, Beverly Sunset Boutique, or Sunset Ranch Pins if you're into pin trading, just to name a few of those places. So you'll definitely want to be on the lookout when you get there. And there you have it. That is Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, for more information on attractions, dining, live entertainment, and more, be sure to download the My Disney Experience app, which is available now on the App Store. Well, that's all the time I have for this week's episode of the Disabled Podcast. Be sure to tune in next week, where I will be talking about the next theme park in our series, which is Disney's Animal Kingdom. Thank you so much for joining me on this magical journey, and we'll see ya
Real soon.